Hi, and welcome back to Artmadillo.
Today we are going to be drawing something that is a little bizarre, and you may be wondering why I'm getting some requests that aren't in the comments. That's because I have friends who aren't commenting on my videos but have talked to me and asked me to draw certain things. So this is one of those things. It is an alligator that is playing the violin, that's wearing aviator sunglasses, riding a C-17, and landing on the moon. The materials that I will be using for this drawing are my big eraser, Sharpie, mechanical pencil, red, orange, light brown, blue, black, yellow, and green. To start off this drawing, I am going to draw the outline of the plane. And this plane is particularly huge and bulky, and I'm not going with real dimensions in this one because that's a little hard to do to show the alligator. So I put the alligator on top of the plane, so it's basically ginormous, and it's just riding on top of the plane like this. And then I added in his aviator sunglasses immediately, just to give it kind of character while I drew the alligator. And alligators, you can see the top teeth when they close their mouth, so I made that very clear so that you could be sure that it was an alligator and not a crocodile. And then I drew the violin, and the violin is pretty easy to draw. It's basically just a stick and then just these little knobs and stuff that I've done here. And then I just finished outlining the plane and giving it all of these plane-like lines and barbs and that kind of thing. And so then I drew the engines and just worked that out. And I'm basically just going back over everything and giving it more just a look that you can tell that that's what's happening and it's not just all everywhere. So as you can see, what I'm doing here with the plane is that exactly. And then I'm just adding in the moon here and the earth. And then I will zoom out and show you the rest of it. So here I am going to be just drawing just outlining everything in the Sharpie and making it permanent instead of just keeping it like it was as a line drawing. And it's good to, at least in this drawing, to make sure everything is very defined and it's not very choppy. I tried to give my alligator some character, and he's very cartoony. He's not very realistic at all. And then I just added in the rest of my details here. And then I just gave him his tail, which he needed to help balance him out, and just added in a few more details. And then I'm just adding in the rest of the lines for the plane and outlining all of that stuff to make it permanent again like before. And since the plane is completely to the side, you can't see how long the plane is, and so you can't see the wing very much except for that one part, but you get the idea. And here I'm just adding in the rest of the things that I forgot, and just finishing up with all those lines. And then I started doing the moon and all those lines and circles that represent the craters, and I just put those lines over it so that you could see that they were actually out of the ground like that. And then I just finished in going in the earth. And then I'm going to take my eraser and just erase all of the lines that I no longer need, that helped me in the beginning, but now they're of no use to me, so I'm going to erase them. And then I'm going to start coloring in my earth. I'm gonna make it green for the purpose of
being as cartoony as possible because I know the whole earth is not green and the water is not all blue. I know there are clouds and that kind of thing, but for the purpose of just this drawing, I'm just going to do that. And then around the earth, I made a light blue, so that was like the atmosphere, which was more scientific than the rest of it. And then the plane, I'm just going to use my black and give it shadows like I did with my last drawing on Master Chief from Halo. So if you drew that one, you might have some more practice with that. And then I'm just finishing coloring in all this and making sure the shadows are underneath the alligator, and making sure those windows are black at the beginning. And then I am going to make the violin this light brown color and fill in that middle part with brown as well. And his bow, the same color. And then I'm going to use green and just color in that alligator because he's going to be super awesome. Green alligator, and his belly is actually going to be yellow. And here I'm just adding in the black on his scales and such. So here you can see the yellow there. And then I am going to just color in his aviator sunglasses. I'm going to make them sunset colors, so red, orange, and yellow. And then I'm just adding in a few more details with that. And then I use my black and I first fill in those craters. The bottom of the crater hole is a little darker than the top. And then I also colored in those lines on the moon. And so here I'm just going to very quickly just color in the whole moon that color. And since I already gave the depth to the shadows, that's why I like to do the shadows first when I'm coloring this. And then I'm just going to finish coloring in that part. And I made a shadow where the plane would be flying over the moon. And here comes the most fun part of this drawing, and that is, I'm just kidding about that by the way, when you color in space, literal space. And so here I'm just coloring in space. I'm just doing the whole thing, just black, and I keep having to use my eraser and just color in the rest of it. And yep, I'm just coloring in the rest of the space black. And I'm going around the plane and the world, just giving that a nice color there. And I'm just finishing up with that part. And so I'm just finishing up coloring in the rest of the space. And after that, I'm going to actually color in those lines behind the plane. I'm going to color those in darker to make it look like it's flying fast through space. And that is about it. So yeah.
Please like and subscribe, and if you would like me to draw anything for you, please leave it in the comment section down below and I will get to it as soon as I can.